Hey everyone, welcome back to our 2025 Telemedicine Codes Explainer series. I'm Harshal. Today we're diving into part 8, and honestly, this is a section you're going to want to pay close attention to. We're looking at the brand new 2025 audio-only evaluation and management codes. And let me tell you, if you don't have the decoder ring for these, they are basically guaranteed to cause some major confusion in your practice. So let's just get right into it because getting these codes right is absolutely crucial for your compliance and your revenue this year.
So are audio-only codes just phone calls? We've got to address the elephant in the room right away. I hear this all the time. Harshal, are these new codes, the 9808 through 98015 series, just the old telephone code slapped with a new label? I totally get why it's tempting to think that. The service is on the phone, right? But you need to completely erase that assumption from your mind. Let's be absolutely clear about this. The new audio-only codes, CPT 98008 through 98015, are an entirely different beast from those traditional telephone codes you might be used to. If you treat them like they're the exact same thing, you're literally just asking for billing errors, denials, and compliance headaches. These 2025 audio-only codes are full-blown evaluation and management services. They just happen to be performed over a synchronous audio-only platform. They have a completely distinct rulebook, and we are going to master it right now. So what does that rulebook look like? Well, surprisingly, these new audio-only codes actually give you a lot of freedom. First off, there is absolutely no restriction on having an EM visit within the prior 7 days or the next 24 hours. None at all. Second, they aren't just for established patients. You can use these for both new and established patients. And third, the encounter doesn't even have to be patient-initiated. It's incredibly flexible. So how do we actually code them? Just like standard EM visits, you choose your code based on either medical decision-making or total time. Oh, and yes, if the time warrants it, you can for sure use prolonged services codes. These are robust, modern codes built for how we actually deliver remote care today. Now, let's shift gears and look at the Brief Communication Technology-Based Service, specifically CPT code 98016. So, what exactly is 98016? You can think of it as a virtual check-in. It's a brief communication service performed by a physician or a qualified healthcare professional who has the ability to report EMM services. But unlike those super flexible audio-only codes we just talked about, 98016 is strictly for established patients only. No new patients allowed here. Also, for those of you who have been billing Medicare for a while, this probably sounds really familiar. Historically, you'd report this kind of virtual check-in to Medicare using the HCPCS code G2012. Well, now it has its own dedicated CPT code, 98016. And the scope of this code is tight. It really comes down to a very specific metric, 5 to 10. Memorize that. CPT 98016 requires exactly 5 to 10 minutes of medical discussion. Not 4 minutes, not 11 minutes, 5 to 10. It's not for a super quick 2-minute, how are the meds working, unless you just love getting your claims denied. And it's definitely not for a comprehensive 20-minute deep dive. It is a highly specific, brief window meant to figure out if a patient needs to actually come in for a full visit or just to manage a very quick clinical question. Remember how the audio-only EM codes had 0 time restrictions around other visits? Yeah, 98016 is the exact opposite. It comes with some pretty heavy bundling rules. You basically have to look backward and forward in the patient's timeline. Looking backward, this virtual check-in cannot originate from a related EMM service provided within the previous 7 days. So if you just saw them for this exact issue last Tuesday, you can't bill 98016 today. Looking forward, the discussion cannot lead to an EMM service or procedure within the next 24 hours, or, and this is key, at the soonest available appointment. If you do this check-in and tell the patient, okay, you actually need to come into the office tomorrow, then 98016 just gets bundled right into that subsequent visit. Okay, let's do a rapid-fire recap to really lock in these core distinctions. For patient status, audio-only EM is for both new and established patients, while brief communication 98016 is established only. For EM time restrictions, audio-only EM has absolutely none. Brief communication has those strict 7-day prior and 24-hour post limits we just went over. And finally, initiation. Audio-only EM can be kicked off by either you or the patient. Brief communication is generally a patient-initiated virtual check-in. Keeping these distinct in your head is going to save your practice so much rework on the back end. So we've covered a ton of crucial ground today for physicians and QHPs who can report E&M services. But what about those qualified healthcare professionals who cannot report E&M services? Well, that's exactly what we're going to untangle next. In Part 9 of this explainer series, we're going to dive into the non-physician professional telephone codes, that's 98966 through 98968, as well as the brief communication code G2251. You are definitely not going to want to miss how those rules differ from what we learned today. I really hope this breakdown gives you absolute clarity on the distinct rules governing the new 2025 audio-only EM codes versus brief communications. But I want to leave you with this. How many virtual check-ins has your practice accidentally billed as standard audio-only EMs just this week? It's worth looking into. Take these insights, audit your recent claims, and protect that revenue. Until next time, decode healthcare with Harshal.